We're live. GMG, everyone. Welcome to what's going to be another great DevNTell. So if you didn't know, DevNTell is a 30-minute window for builders to showcase something they're passionate about or been working on in Web3. This can be an awesome project you've been working on, demonstrating into testing best practices, automation goodies, smart contracts, how to structure a project, etc. Basically, if you've got a passion for something, this is your opportunity to share it with the community. And today I'm ecstatic to have Blue on, who's going to be giving us a demonstration of Iden protocol, which is going to help you find work, your next gig in Web3. Welcome, Blue. Ecstatic to have you on.
Hey guys, that's awesome. I am so excited I'm here. I look at DevNTell from the start that I was here in Developer DAO over like a year plus ago, and like actually presenting one. This is really special for me. Amazing to be here.
Awesome. I guess before we get into the meat of the presentation, do you want to give like a brief introduction about yourself, just for folks who aren't familiar?
100%. Yes. So I started with like bachelor's in computer science, the classics, then master's in machine learning, and then PhD in artificial intelligence. Classic story. I actually dropped out of the PhD because I was feeling that it wasn't like moving fast enough, and I wasn't able to like actually use what I'm learning. So I decided to move on and start actually using AI on companies. I worked in multiple companies. To go fast, the biggest one at some point was Goldman Sachs. And it was actually a really soul-crushing experience, I would say, because I didn't feel emotionally engaged to the position. And that's when I started going really deep into Web3 and full stack to kind of like create a holistic approach. And finally, I found Developer DAO. I found Developer DAO, funny enough, I don't even know if Kempster remember, but there was on ETH Amsterdam a table with Kempster, Ryan, and I actually sit on this table and I met you guys and I bought the NFT back in the day. And then I joined and I spent a lot of time on the community. We found a problem that we wanted to solve, and then we went hardcore into coding to solve this problem. So that's the quick version.
Wow, that's amazing, man. And yeah, it's wonderful that your journey has brought you here today to share all this wonderful work that you and the team have done. So let's get right into it.
Amazing, amazing. So what we are doing here today is to show a little bit under the hood with Iden. We will split it half and half. Half of our time, it will be us understanding a little bit what is Iden, what we are here to do, and what we are trying to solve. And the other 5 minutes or 7 minutes will be to go a little bit more on the nitty and gritty of like how Iden is able to remember you and how we are keeping the information, which is only more like technical stuff, and I'm really inspired and excited about that. Today, specifically, we want to focus on the career coach. So inside Iden, we have two different sides. One is the artificial intelligence career coach. This is a coach that is able to support you. First of all, there is a journey that you are going through with this career coach. You are giving your CV, and is able to read everything about you, understand you deeply. And then the second version is that you are able to actually talk to this career coach and go deeper into the nitty-gritty stuff of your CV and your LinkedIn in order to understand you deeply and know exactly what you're looking for. And not only technology-wise, but more about your interests, your goals, what you want to expand and what you're passionate about. So that's the AI career coach. We also have the other side, which we will not talk about today, but theoretically we can do another DevNTell for that. But the other side is an AI recruiter. This is the side of Iden that is talking to companies. Long story short, we have two AIs. One, talking to companies. Two, talking to talent. And then these two AIs are communicating and say, hey, I found the perfect person for the perfect position, and brings them back together and suggest them to each other, basically. Practically, how this will exist with Developer DAO is that we are creating an oasis. Now, what do we call kind of like Developer DAO oasis? Is a place that anyone can go and can join in order to get their own career coach. We have some specific positions that we are starting, but we want to expand. Already we had people telling us to put on project managers and other positions. For now, we have things like designer, we have DevRel, we have front-end, back-end, blockchain, etc., etc. When you go there, you are able to talk to Iden, giving again your CV and actually doing the interview. And when you do that, you are going to the next phase, which is Iden deeply to understand you, and then to be able to connect you to the right project. So this is, let's say, a gateway of mapping everyone inside the DAO and understanding you deeply, and then being able to use the AI recruiter AI that we were talking before in order to make the connection and find the right opportunity, the right position, the right short-term or long-term project for you. Practically here, how it works is, this is the Figma, so let's go to the actual thing. This is how it looks like today. Hopefully in the next days, we will see that growing and we will see that having more and more positions. Right now, we have some positions, obviously, from Iden, and then we have a position from Jensen. Please search this company, is actually an extremely cool one. And right now, everyone inside Developer DAO is working, not everyone, like a specific team is working to bring back incredible opportunities here. So how it works, let's say that I'm not logged in, because right now I am logged in as myself. It will prompt you to sign up. If you sign up, you will be able to select between the different opportunities different oases that we have. Again, if nothing really matches your skills, feel free to DM me personally on BluePanda on Discord, and we will be able to put that in, and that's half of the reason that we do everything to expand this further. And if you choose that, you will start the process. Right now, what we do here is that we are asking you, of course, to see that you actually are a member of Developer DAO, to see your tokens and all these things. And when you actually have that, we can move to the next phase, which is to go through the interview. Now, practically, to the ice. Now, how this works here, except logging in, let's go back. Yeah, is that you will go through the process of Iden to know you better. You're starting from here, and this process is for you to add your CV. And then when you add your CV, we will be able to right away tell you if this is the right place for you, and also what things you are missing. That's something that I'm really excited about, especially the first kind of like cotton pink box at the top. It basically Iden telling you that, hey, for this particular position, you're missing these specific things. In case that you already know about them, feel free to tell them during the interview in order to be able to evaluate you better. So even from your CV, we are able to understand what is your biggest strengths and what things we need more information on, and we are preparing you in order for you to talk about them during the interview. So as you can see, I can try. This is a front-end position, so potentially I don't have the perfect CV for that. I'm more like an ML engineer and C++ and all these things. So we will see how Iden will react to me specifically. Most of the time, especially for a front-end position, Iden will say, hey, amazing that you have C++ and all these things, but it will be good if you talk more about React and all the classics, right? So this gives me an idea of, okay, I actually know React. Let's talk about it during the CV process. So as you can see here, let's close it up. Iden is able to understand that I'm more into ML. It tells me a little bit what I'm missing. And also here, it can tell me how I can grow, how this can help me further. When I actually start that, I personally already did some of the testing interviews because I'm coding it. So I predict that you will see some things when it comes to the interview. And when I'm ready, I can go through the interview. This is a discussion that we already had, probably it's like a testing one. And you will see right away Iden that is replying to me and try to understand deeply my CV, the specific position that I'm applying to, the oasis of the front end, and then is going deeper into, for example, my Web3 skills, because I didn't write anything about that, right? So here I can just reply to Iden, and when I click next, it will start the conversation. I don't want to spoil that. That's the most interesting thing, especially seeing how personalized these get for you specifically, for your answer, for your CV. So don't want to spoil that. You have to try it for yourself with your own CV. But that's the main idea of Iden understanding CV and conversation. Practically, right after that, we can move to the conversation we are discussing. Yes, please.
One important question I like to ask is, so that first conversation, so this is replacing or going to replace that first basically opening interview that you would typically have with a company, whether it's with an HR rep or right with the first boss that you have to meet in the interview process.
Exactly.
Right?
So, that's a great question, and it clears things up basically on what we do here. The point is that we don't want you to again analyze the same old things. We want you to have one interview, 2 interviews maximum, and then we want to have so much information about you that we are able to go and suggest you to go straight to the second interview of the hiring process without you having to re-engage on the first interview. So this is a double game that we are playing. One, that we try to understand you deeply for you to not do the interview again. And the second one is we try to understand you deeply in order to, when we go to a hiring manager, to a company, to say, hey, this is a perfect person for you. We deeply know this person, and we know that this is the particular skills that will make huge impact. So you are starting on a leg up with a great recommendation from us, and then it starts in a deeper fashion, the conversation. The final thing that we are adding to the process, and this is more on the recruiter side, is that most of the time, especially the first interview, is really repetitive and really kind of like the same questions you are asking about the CV. Basically, Iden is preparing for the recruiter that will talk to you to the second interview or to the hiring manager of the company. I will say, hey, I know this person. Already they know all these amazing things. However, we are missing a little bit of information here, and here, so you can dig deeper there. So it creates really amazing and impactful questions in order for the second interview to be even more high impact for you and them, and move faster into the process, into the final yes to finish the hiring process. Yeah, that's it. Is that answering the question?
Yes, amazing. And just to hit it home, this process is usually the most intensive and resource intensive in the hiring process. So to be able to automate it and kind of drill right down on both ends is really, really powerful. So that's awesome to see.
That's a great point. To add one little thing is that exactly on both sides, this is the top of the funnel. On the company side, you have 300 people applying. On the people side, you have 300 jobs applying for. So if we are able to reduce that as much as possible on both sides, this will bring an immense impact on both sides. And that's exactly what we are trying to do by allowing you to talk more to the right people than talking to random people until you find something. I think something that Tom says and I really like is that before it's like you fishing and trying to find the fish. Now it's like going to the fish market and be like, this is perfect for you. Please choose the one that you care about. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So what we can do now is we can take a small break. We are on like 12 minutes, so we have a little bit more. We can take a small break from the actual technology because that's it. Iden is extremely simple. You just give your CV, talk to an AI, and then one last step that I will talk to you in a bit, and that's it. So there is nothing else on the UI side that the AI, on the AI that we care about here. So I will talk more about the side of like programming it. So how this works technologically. I'm actually really excited about that, and that was what I was working with. This is the biggest problem that we faced with Iden, especially at the start, which is how can we create really high quality memories for Iden? What is a memory? A memory is basically a self-contained information that we have about you, probably multiple of these, and we create these memories through a CV or through the conversation. And we are collecting all these memories in order to be able to create a continuous process with you and in order to create a relationship with you, let's say. So practically how this memory game works, I can show you a little bit of my tablet here. Yeah, so how this memory works. Let's say that we will go a little bit to like the mathematic side of the game. Let's say that most of the time we'll have a n-dimensional space, but now to keep it simple and be able to draw it, we will have a 3-dimensional space. That's the space of memories. This is how we organize our memories based on a 3-dimensional space in order to be able to find them with the optimal way. So practically speaking, let's say that I had an interview with Iden and I said to Iden that, hey, one thing is that I know Web3 and the other thing is that I know React. As you can see, these two things are fairly far apart, but at the same time, they are on the same quadrant, let's call it. So practically here, how it works is that, let's say that someone cares about Web3 information. This means that they will search around here and they will have basically a sphere around them that they are trying to find for people that they care about Web3. Is it that you are asking about Web3 companies? Is it that someone else is asking for Web3 talent? Obviously, it is way more complicated on the back, but it is, I think it's I'm trying to see this presentation as a good way to motivate you guys potentially to research that on a deeper level on how to connect classic large language models with memory. So the memory part is this vector system that you see here and how we are saving that on a vector space. So practically speaking, how this works is that we have the content is the memory. For example, I worked for 3 years in XYZ company. Then we are using an embedding. Embedding is helping us to create the special vector. And finally, this special vector is being saved on this 3-dimensional space, let's say, to keep it simple for this conversation. Now, when we save all these vectors on this 3-dimensional space, we are able to go back and retrieve it. So later that we will talk about the long-term relationship with Iden, if we have a little bit of time, we will see exactly how we are able to go and say, oh, wow, this person applied for this particular company. I remember that from my vector memories. So now I'm able to discuss about it. And this is how it works on the foundational level. To bring home the point and then ask if this is accurate enough and then we can go deeper if this is not like concrete enough, is I think this is a really simple visualization to see how it works. This is a 2-dimensional space to make it even easier. And as you can see, we have kind of like little areas of information. For example, high, joyful, and sad is emotions. We keep them together. Gas, oil together. React, JavaScript, and C++, we keep them together. Imagine that now, to scale this up to hundreds of dimensions, in Iden we use 1020 something dimensions, and to thousands of memories. It becomes a really amazing and scalable system of bringing back home the memories. That's on the technical side. Is there anything, is that clear enough, Narb, on your side?
Yeah, it made sense to me.
Perfect. If there is any questions, we will have the full time at the end. So feel free to write any questions that you have on the Iden Classic or the Iden hood, under the hood, and then I can answer after. Finally, let's go back to Iden Classic and how actually Iden works. The final thing is that, okay, we first gave our CV, then we did a conversation to dig deeper into the CV, and finally we are creating a long-term relationship because Iden is your career coach now. We try to find you where you are. We started with Telegram. Later we will have iMessage, WhatsApp, potentially even email, but we try to make it more like a texting your recruiter and talk to Iden. So how it works right now is that Iden will be able to notify you or to tell you, hey, actually I have this incredible position for you. Are you still available? And then if you ghost Iden and you never reply back, Iden will think that, okay, this person is not interested anymore, so it will find something else. It will find someone else for this position. Or if you reply and say, yeah, that sounds awesome, then Iden will go back to the company and say, hey, actually have your guy replied, is available right now, let's move this forward. So it will be able to solve a lot of the problems that we have right now, which is, for example, people that are not anymore available, or will be able to solve problems that are you actually interested for this position. So you will be able to talk one-to-one and create a relationship with it. And hopefully on Telegram, again, Telegram is not that good at this stage. I'm literally building it right now at 5 a.m. I was coding it, but it is becoming on the level of Iden Interview. Iden Interview is actually really, really good. Telegram is moving towards that in the next versions. And it will progress with the same memories. That's why I talked to you about the memories. And we'll be able to continue the conversation until you find a job. And what is the long-term dream? The long-term dream is that Iden understands you in such a depth that is able to talk to Iden at any point, and you are able to find the thing that you care about. For example, let's say that you are in a long-term position right now for the past 1 year. However, you have some financial issues and you want a little bit, or you care to find one more position, like a small one on the side, just to progress your skills or get some financial reward or something like that. You will be able to just DM Iden and say, hey, Iden, do you remember me? I actually was working on a company for a year, but now I will continue working with this company, but I want a position just for 2 weeks or just for 3 months. And Iden will be like, okay, I remember all your skills, don't worry. I will go and find the right one for you. Do you have any new skills that you want to tell me or anything else that you learned? So this is a constant conversation that it is able to become your complete agent / career coach that understand you and is able to find the right position for you. And it will be an obvious choice for you when you want to find your new long-term opportunity or your new short-term opportunity to just DM back Iden and say, hey, let's continue from where we were. That's it. That's the main idea. You can see, for example, one last thing. Okay, I will show you a little bit of my Telegram. Full disclaimer, this is on the debugging mode right now because I'm testing it, but this is how it will look like. You will have Iden talking to you basically, and Iden will be able to suggest you a new opportunity, for example, and then you will be able to reply back, oh, what is the position? And then as you can see, Iden is using the memory in order to tell you, oh, this is the exact position, that's where you apply, that's your skills. And then you will be able to say, that sounds perfect, let's do it, and then we'll move from there. By the way, please don't overwhelm Telegram right now. We don't have yet any way to stop you. So this can get really expensive really fast. Literally right now, after this call, I'm building it up of okay, 3 messages per minute, 5, because people are really excited and they are trying it. So feel free to try slowly, let's say, to help us in this awkward phase of trying to finish everything up. That's it. We are close to the 20 minutes. What we can do right now is that we can see if there is any questions. In case that there is no questions, I can go back and I can tell you a little bit more about the vector or Iden. If there is any questions, we can spend time with you guys. So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, this is fantastic, Blue. There are some questions in the crowd. The one that I want to ask before we get to those is, and P. Billingsby will appreciate this as well. How can this help juniors find their first positions in Web3 or the tech scene in general?
I love this. Yes, that's perfect. I forgot to talk about that. This is actually one of the things that we are the most passionate about. The reason is because right now there is not a concrete way to help a junior to join the first position. And everyone is like, okay, I want 1 year, 2 years, 3 years of experience, let's say. What we found through a lot of research is that it's not that much that companies care about the years of experience. This is just an easy proxy for them to use in order to go through hundreds of job applications. The point here is that because we are able to, Iden is able to automatically go through all these people and deeply understand them, there is a chance that this new junior will have some special, for example, combination of skills that people will care about, or will have really amazing values for this particular company, or will we'll have a special thing that it doesn't exist on the actual requirements, but this is what they deeply care about. And that's why we have these two AIs. One is the AI of the company to understand what they deeply care about, and the AI of the candidate. And that's exactly the point that we are trying to make, which is the reason that you are making such a difficult way for someone to join your company is not that much that you don't believe on a junior, is that it is really difficult to sort through the juniors and see the special gems and help them when they are ready to join the workforce. And that's exactly what this alignment does, is able to find these rough combinations that a human being wouldn't be able to find because it needs hundreds of hours. But Iden is able to do that because it's able to spend hundreds of hours with you and the companies. Is that answering that?
Yes, that's amazing to hear, and I'm
Perfect.
sure we have a very fast group of folks that are in this position of wanting to enter the tech scene, but for whatever reason, having troubles doing so. So I believe Iden can definitely help them. So if you're somebody in that position, please definitely give Iden a go around. You have nothing to lose. Next, got a question from Wickest here. At what stage is the project today, and what are the goals for the close future?
Thank you. That's a really good question. Amazing to see you here, Wickest. So, Iden, we were building for the past almost 1.5 years, basically, trying to deeply understand what the users want, what is the right format, how we can make that. We call it MLP. We are in the phase of minimum lovable product. It is a fully working side, but at the same time, it is on a lovable phase that people can get excited about and can get an incredible value out of this product. Today, actually yesterday, we just launched these two Developer DAO to the Developer DAO community. This means that right now you guys can go to the Iden website. I will give you at the end the link, and you are able to join us, see the Oasis, actually join the Oasis, and then at the same time, we are in the process of finding these incredible opportunities and connecting everyone together. So the development side, even though we are still developing some things, is largely on the, it is, let's say, mature enough. And now we are in the phase of launching it and allowing as many people to join. The other thing is that we are in the phase of getting as much feedback as possible. Right now, the platform is really malleable. This means that anything that you have in your mind, please text again on at BluePanda on Discord, for example. And I'm getting every feedback. You can get on a 30-minute call with me, go even deeper and understand you deeply, because that's exactly the point of like deeply improving the platform with the best way possible. And the only way to do that is with you guys in a collaboration stage. Yeah.
Excellent, great answer. And Blue's contact info will be in the description, at least the Twitter, his Twitter handle will be. So if you want, please go ahead and DM him there, or in Discord as well, if you're in the DD Discord. One last question to get through before we're out here. OXDev asks, are the interview results verifiable on a blockchain?
Great question. Okay, because we are Web3, right? So
yes.
When we're doing the round of deeply understanding our users, we saw one thing, which is we were asking them their priorities, where hiding, for example, their data into a backpack and be able to play the Web3 game, where is on their priorities. And we realized that this is an extremely important thing that will happen. However, we need to start from the first phase, which is find someone a job. So it was an overwhelming the experience of people saying, yes, I want that at some point. But to be honest, at this point, I care for you finding me my ultimate opportunity and finding what I care about to work with. So this is a priority game, let's say. Today, we don't put your data on the blockchain yet. When we finalize and we see that this exact model works, this AI system works, we will move on these exact states. We already have some collaboration, and we are talking, for example, with Jensen, that they are all focusing on machine learning and blockchain in order to even take that into the Web3. And of course, we are talking with Disco, which is to create your own backpack of data and to add everything there. And this will be an incredible future addition. But at this stage, we care on the foundation of the problem, which is connecting an incredible opportunity, one incredible candidate. And when we solve that, then we move forward.
Great answer. And one last question here, which is very important, I think, is do people need to register separately for each role? Harpreet just registered with DevRel, but could not find how to change it to front end, for example.
Yeah, and this is like the classic kinks that you see, like especially because we are really early, right? And you are taking the earliest states. This is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you will see some of these things, and I will tell you exactly what you will do. On the other hand, you are getting maximum visibility from the opportunities that will come because you will be literally the first people here, right? So it's there is some pros and some cons, let's say. Now, practically speaking, right now, yes, there is a hard separation between them, but that's the whole point of Iden, that hopefully throughout your interview, and I'm really curious to see your opinion, I will text you after, Iden was able to understand you as a holistic person. So even though you started from DevRel, Iden was able to hopefully understand in depth your front-end skills. In a later version, and the more people tell us that, the higher will come to our priorities. We will allow you to also say that, hey, I'm also interested on the front-end side. And Iden will be able to basically tell you, hey, on Telegram, I already know everything about you on the DevRel. Please answer me these extra 5 questions. And we are set also on the front-end side. So later we will fix all that, and we have the infrastructure to fix it. But for now, we don't. Now, at this awkward state specifically, what I would recommend you is you can actually go and apply on both. Iden allow that, and the infrastructure allows that. So that's perfectly fine, and Iden will work. However, if you don't want to, and that's too much, which is perfectly understandable, even by staying on one, Iden is smart enough to find even front-end positions for you based on what it already knows. So I wouldn't worry too much.
Beautiful. And unfortunately, that brings us to time. Blue, this was wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on. Everybody in the chat says you're a great explainer of things, which I totally agree. And yeah, looking forward to seeing Iden continue to grow here and folks landing some awesome jobs in Web3 or tech in general. And just before everybody leaves, I want to present the QR code for people to scan to be able to claim their NFT, which will be airdropped in a few days for joining DevNTell today. So what you want to do is scan this with your regular QR code scanner, fill out the form, and you'll have about an hour and a half from right now to do that before the form closes. And then, like I mentioned before, you'll have your NFT airdropped within a few days. All right. And with that,
one last thing before we go, I forgot. You saw on the PowerPoint presentation, it says join iden.ai/oasis. I am reminding you, if you go to this website, again, join iden.ai/oasis, you will be able to have that. Probably it will be also on the description and Twitter, etc., etc. But we try to find the easiest website. So you can go there, you can sign up, you can move forward. And again, if you have a problem, at BluePanda./IO on Twitter or just on Discord. That's it.
Excellent. And with that, we just want to wish everybody a very happy Friday, happy weekend, and that will catch you back here next week. All right. Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.